and strong. Talking Tigers all morning long. Saints exceed headlines on the screen. Breaking it down with a little caffeine. Grab your mug, come on in. Let's wake this day and let it begin. It's morning Scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple, gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning Scone. It's morning Scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple, gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning Scone. Where the coffee's hot, the takes are hotter.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boat, Koch Brothers, Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. And, of course, FMOL Health, our Related to Lake Championship Health partner of LSU Athletics. All right, y'all, good morning. Let's get to it here. Tomorrow is the deadline. Monday is the deadline for Major League Baseball draft picks to sign their deals. Derek Curiel has signed his contract with the Pirates. Saw Devin Sheeran signed his deal with the Phillies. So, as expected, the guys that were picked have are formalizing their deals with tomorrow's deadline. Again, the one we're going to keep an eye on is Logan Schmidt. If you missed the story Saturday, Schmidt was LSU's highest signee in this baseball class, was thought certainly to be a first-round pick, went 59 overall to Cleveland, who apparently drafted him, just drafted him blind. They did not have an agreed-upon deal. Well, Cleveland had gone over, so they just took the best available player, which is not a very smart thing to do with a high school kid, but to not agree to terms. And so Cleveland signed some guys for over slot. They got, so long story short is Cleveland has $1.7 million to spend. That's it on Schmidt. And he wants way more than that. So he's not expected, as of yesterday, was not expected to take the 1.7 from Cleveland. So he has two options. If he doesn't take that money from Cleveland, he can come to LSU or he can go the JUCO route. And if you go JUCO, you can re-enter the draft next year. So he can spend 1 year at JUCO, then re-enter the draft. If he comes to LSU, he's got to be here for 3 years. So it would take a pretty hefty NIL pull to get Logan Schmidt, to campus. But see if Jay Johnson can make it happen. So we're nothing after yesterday morning, nothing new on that. Kind of waiting to see what happens here. But like, it's not like Cleveland can come up with more money. I mean, you have a draft pool, a slot value pool, and then even like for overages, there's tax you can spend, but like that, there is a limit, and their limit is 1.7. That is it. So it's gonna be fascinating to watch. Okay, let's say some good mornings, y'all. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Kelly Gross, good morning. Hey, Jacob, good morning. Scott, good morning. Have an awesome day. I get part 3 of becoming a mix of $6 million man at home. Have an awesome day. Tomorrow I get part 3 of becoming a mix of $6 million man and Hulk. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, man. I tried to read it twice. Hey, Kurt. Good morning. Good to see you there. Oh, okay. Here's the rest of it from Scott. In October, I had titanium plate in my wrist. March, I got shot with radiation. Tomorrow, I get a cobalt knee. After that, you know what, Scott? We're looking forward to it, man. We're looking forward to how you're going to feel. How you're going to feel after tomorrow.
Questions? Walker Parks, is he? Oh, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be good to go.
Scott will be good to go. Corey, good morning. Kirk, what up, Kirk? I didn't realize that was you. Yes, new intro song, man. So I did that on the AI app Suno, and I figured it was a good opportunity just to let the audience build for like 2 minutes before we jumped right into the content. 6 Saturdays till LSU football, man. Can't wait. We're almost here. And 5 Saturdays really until week 0. So we got football coming up in just over a month. Easton Royal watch. Yeah, man. You might recall one of the things that Shea Dixon told us a few weeks back was he anticipated that Easton Royal would let the teams that were in the mix for him know something definitively by the end of July, because he would want to get that done before the start of his senior year. That's pretty common now, because you don't have the February. You have the February signing day, but most everybody, especially elite prospects, sign in December so they can early enroll in January. So all that to say, these players are playing all throughout the fall. They're not taking their official visits and all throughout the fall. So you see them take the official visits in the summer in June and then make a final decision here in July before their senior season start. Alice, good morning. 38 bound today. Did Easton give a new commitment date hit? I don't know. I mean, let me check. Geller, that's 2 now. Let me see if he posted something on social. He might have. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Only thing I know is that the last thing I saw was that Steve Wiltfong, a week ago. We talked about it on AFR. Steve Wiltfong a week ago. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. Projected Royal to flip to LSU. Carrie, good morning. Hey, Jacob, Matt, I'm curious. Do you think you'll ever get to interview Kiffin one-on-one? I'm sure at some point I will. When and what context, how, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll make it happen some point. Club, good morning. Going to the Superdome for the first time in my life today for the X Games. Okay, Club, that's all. You've never been to the Dome? Wow. Well, enjoy it, man. That's hard to believe, man. You would assume everybody at some point in their life in Louisiana would go to the Dome. Saints games, LSU games, bowl games, monster truck, concert, some X Games, something. But anyway, enjoy it, man. That's awesome. Enjoy your day. Hey, Kyle. Love the intro. Very nice. Anyway, so after SC Media Day, what's your opinion on Auburn quarterback Pete Golding and John Summerall? So I'll take those in order. So one of the big surprises was standing next to Byron Brown, the Auburn quarterback. He's huge. Not Cam Newton huge, but let's say Lenora Sellers huge. I get why he's a problem to get to the ground. Pete Golding, I thought did great. Has an everyman kind of vibe to him. That's why he's very relatable for a lot of fans. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a great head coach. Doesn't mean he won't be. But he was very likable. I get, you get it. Dude's from Hammond, America. You know what I mean? And then John Summerall, I thought was probably the biggest winner of the whole thing. And And really, when you start to peel back the layers, you realize he made two really good coordinator hires at Florida. Brad White was Brad White was the defense coordinator at Kentucky under Mark Stoops. I mean, tons of SEC experience. And then Buster Faulkner is the OC they brought in from Georgia Tech. And they brought Philo, the quarterback, from Georgia Tech with Faulkner. So they get the quarterback OC combo there as well. I don't know that Florida's roster is good enough to be a contender this year, but I do think John Summerall is a good hire, and he will do well in Gainesville. Hey, Devin, good morning. Will you be at a tailgate around the stadium week 1 versus Clemson? I'd love to come by and say hi. Well, probably so, Devin. Normally, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I went out and like tailgated. But the folks over at Woodside Energy invited me to be their guest at their tailgate for the game, all that sort of stuff. So I think Erica and I are going to go and spend the day and tailgate and go watch the game and all that sort of stuff. So I think I will be out there. Yeah. Hey, Michael, good morning. Kirk, are we having whiskey and wine? So, yes. I don't know, and this will probably hurt it a smidge, that it will be as consistent. So, for example, right, we just talked about the Clemson game. So if I'm in Tiger Stadium, then I'm not going to be on my back patio, right? But there are certainly going to be games where I'll be at home and I'll fire up whiskey and wine from the back patio. Like I know we're planning on going to, Eric and I and some friends are going to the Kentucky game. So, I mean, I could fire up a live stream walking out of the stadium. Could always do that. But just a little different. Darren, good morning. Looks like Levitt will be good to go. Hey, Carrie, good morning. Happy Sunday. Jesse, good morning. Lee, good morning from Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, Lee. Dakota, good morning. Craig. All right, another new Craig avatar. Love that. Happy Shark Week. Okay. Let's see. Is there room for Logan S? I thought roster was full. Sorry, I don't pay attention well. No, you're good. So that's the kind of guy, Devin, that you will make room for that guy if you need to. But crunching the numbers, they're good. And I actually, if you remember after the draft, had Jay Johnson on the show, and we talked about that, and he said, roster's fine, we're good. And and there were two signees beforehand that we knew we're not going to stay in this class. The catcher, whose name I'm blanking on right now. The catcher who announced he's gone, and then notes. Dagnabbit. Murphy. Yeah, Murphy. That was it. Murphy, they had given him his release before the draft. They just hadn't announced it. So he was not coming to LSU either way. So that's two more spots. Anyway, point being, they're good. They're good on numbers. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Colby, he'll be good to go. Corey, yesterday was tough. Buried my grandma. She was great. It's okay. She's much better off now, back with Grandpa. Well, my condolences to you and your family, Corey. And it's good perspective to have on it, but it doesn't make it any easier, to lose a loved one. So condolences to you and your family. Shout out to your grandma, man. I'm sure she was an awesome lady. Jesse, I like week 0 because y'all get college football with no anxiety or stress. Yeah. I just like week 0 because I get to watch football. Adam, good morning. Have an amazing day. 7 weeks of the NFL season's here. Can't wait. We're almost there, man. I mean, Saints report this week, man. Tuesday. I'm ready for it, man. Hey, David, good morning. Guy Brooks, good morning. Alex, good morning. Oh, he dropped to 729. Okay. There you go. I guess that's for Easton Royal. I was looking on Instagram. I didn't see it. Do it on Twitter. Hang on. Let me look at Twitter, see if that's where it was. Let's see. Okay. Last night. Got it. Hey, Brad, good morning. With how much the media industry has changed since you started, if you were getting out of school now, would you still go into media or choose another career? Yeah, no, I'd do media. I think I always knew I was going to do media. But when I got out of school, I did news for 4 or 5 years before I did sports. So I'm not sure I would change anything. I'm very grateful for all my experiences. And I think I used to regret doing those years of news because I thought, man, how much further along in my career would I be if I had gone straight into sports? And I guess there's some validity to that. But I learned so much and had so many great experiences, working with different people on different shows that still impact me today. It's hard to be, it's hard to regret that, I'm very grateful for those experiences. Hey, Rob, good morning. SPC, has the basketball roster been finalized or is the NCAA still trying to make it illegal? Well, those are two different things. So the basketball roster is not yet finalized. And I don't think the NCAA will be able to, I think what you're alluding to is changing the rules for the international players, and that won't happen this year, right? For players that are signed or whatever the case may be. So it will affect next season if they change those rules. And just like the age limit rule, right? The 5 to play 5 rule. But that won't affect the guys Will's recruiting this year. The one that could have been in jeopardy was Yam Madar. He's the 25-year-old Israeli guard. Well, he already re-signed with his team in Israel, so he's not coming over. Hey, Bob, good morning. Hope you, Erica, and little Scone have a blessed day. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's see, Jesse. I remember we had an MLB expansion game in the Dome many years ago. I was there. I think it was Mets versus A's. Okay. Yeah, played, remember they had college, LSU used to play the Winn-Dixie Classic down there. I just realized someone said done, it meant Dome. High school in the Dome. Yep, high school championship games in the Dome. Patrick, is Kiffin going to allow y'all to come to fall practice? I'm sure. I don't know to what extent we'll have access. Brian Kelly gave us a ton of access. Like, we got to watch all of fall camp. And in many instances, it was full practices. Lane, in spring, the first half of spring, we just watched like the first 15 or 20 minutes. And in the second half of spring, he let us watch everything. So I'm curious, what we'll get to see in fall camp. I'm sure during the season, we'll get nothing, but which I understand. But I don't love it, but I get it. But in fall camp, I would guess we'll get some access. I just haven't been told, what and to what degree yet. So they report, what I was told is they report on the 4th and they start practice on the 5th. So they'll report a week from Tuesday and start practice a week from Wednesday. Adam, I remember when the United States Hot Rod Association would visit the Superdome for monster trucks. Yep, truck tractor pull. Yep, featuring Bigfoot. Kyle, do you agree with the on-3 QB ranking with Chambliss 1, Arch 2, Levitt 5? So first of all, I didn't see it, so I don't know what they're considering for the rankings. And honestly, Kyle, I'll tell you this all the time. Like, I hate rankings. I hate arbitrary lists. I think it's just lazy summertime media. Like, who cares? I'm genuinely, who cares? Who cares if On3 says it's Chambliss, Arch, and Levitt? Like, who cares? It doesn't impact quite literally anything. So I tend to not pay attention to those things ever because it's irrelevant and it's lazy. It's just lazy media. I'm going to put out a list and get people to all up in a frenzy about my list. I mean, I don't do lists. Antonio, good morning. Breezy, I'm going to the Dome to watch Rustin Ed in the car. First time there. Just got my LSU Clemson tickets. Going to be an awesome year. Awesome, man. That's great. Now, back to the question that who was it that asked Kyle about the quarterbacks? What I will say, Kyle, like if you said, okay, for this season, you had to pick one of those guys, Arch, Chambliss, or Levitt, I'd probably take Chambliss. He won a national championship in Division II. He was awesome in the SEC last year. Arch started slow, finished strong, and I think has obviously the biggest upside of all those guys just because of the physical ability. But for one college season, if you gave me any of those three, I would take Chambliss, especially in Kiffin's offense because we've seen it. Hey, Jay, good morning. James, when do we expect Logan S. to make a decision? Cleveland, LSU, JUCO, what do you think he'll do? Well, the deadline to sign is tomorrow. So if we will know by tomorrow if he is taking Cleveland's offer or not. That is definitive. If he does not take Cleveland's offer, then I would assume he has until the start of the semester. I mean, he'll have to go enroll in school. So, a few weeks when the semester starts in August, he's either going to be enrolled in a junior college or at LSU. But what I was told yesterday was that he really does not want to go to school. So I think Jay has a real uphill climb to try to convince him that spending the next 3 years at LSU is a good decision. Hey, Lee, good morning. Question, why wouldn't you have a tent destination for your fans to come out to meet you? You could sell merch, etc. You mean on campus? We can't do that on campus. They're very strict about any type of branding that's not associated with LSU. Even if you're like a business owner and you have your own tailgate, and you have one of those 10 by 10 tents with your logo on it, they will not let you put that out. So, and they certainly wouldn't let anybody sell merch. So that's one. If you're talking about on campus, that's why. Hey, Kyle, let's see. When possible, you should have Marlar on Whiskey and Wine with you. That would be fire. Yeah, I don't think so. Appreciate it. Let's see. Caleb, morning, Matt. Anything hopeful on cornerback depth? Well, so your first two, right? With Pickett and Woodland. And then Jakeem Jackson, remember, was a top 10 cornerback in the country when he signed with Florida. Now, his career has just been limited and slowed by injury. But Jakeem Jackson is probably your number 3, especially now with Aiden Anding out. And then I could see Haven Finney being next. And look, Haven is a reclass, right? He should be going to his high school senior season. But remember, Haven Finney was the number 1 cornerback in the country for 2027. He reclassed to 2026. So he already went through spring at LSU in what should have been the second semester of his junior year of high school. He's a freak show. Like, he is going to be a fantastic player. And if they can ramp him up quickly, I think he could certainly be part of the depth there as well. Hey, Michael, good morning. Taking Scone to the next level. Hey, Ron, love your media day interviews. Thank you, Ron. Is it possible to get Brooks Austin on AFR to break down games during the season? Never heard of him until your interview. So it's interesting, Ron. I got more feedback from the convo with Brooks than probably anything else I did. And so if you're not familiar, Brooks Austin, he's got a YouTube channel, The Film Guy, and he's just built it organically. You know, it was funny. He and I were talking. It's like, it's so wild. 2 years ago, 3 years ago at Media Days, you know, he was just begging anybody to put him on the show. Now he's like, he's on everybody's show. I think his YouTube channel is like 100,000 subs. And I think he told me he just hired an agent maybe 2 weeks ago. So he's had a great rise, but that's the meritocracy I talk about all the time in sports media, really media. It's just, it's a meritocracy. If you're good and you consistently put out content and people like it and consume it, you can win. The gatekeepers are gone, man. Like, you can win. That's awesome. So I'm fired up for him. But yeah, and so I did. Anyway, Ron, I did ask him that. I was like, man, if you want to do something regular during the season, I'd love to make that happen. So he was down. So we just got to work out, what we might be able to do to make that happen. Hey, Jeffrey, good morning. Deborah, good to go. Looking forward to football season. Hey, Chris, good morning. Y'all do me a favor, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
All right, remember, Parrish Construction and Roofing. Hey, we're 6 days away. 1 week from yesterday is Brock, Rock, and Wine, benefiting the Brock Foundation. It's in the South Stadium Club in Tiger Stadium. Wine, food, live music, auction items in Tiger Stadium. Very cool event, as always. Get your tickets, brortho.com. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Got an issue with your roof? We would love to help you out. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Excuse me, Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Unique Physique of the GLP-1s. Unique Aesthetics and Wellness does all your aesthetic clinic offerings, including female HRT, Botox, Brotox, body contouring, laser therapy, laser hair removal, all that stuff. Lowest prices, never any contracts, uniquephysique.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars, code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Really excited about our partnership with the Lake, not only here on Locked on LSU, on AFR. I do think we are going to be able to start getting some of the LSU football players cycling through their NIL deals that they have with the Lake. Part of the deliverables are going to be to come on AFR. So I'm really excited about that partnership and how we'll be able to expand even more coverage of the Tigers with our partnership with FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. And of course, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. I need to get Erica to redo the logo, so get Restored Motions back on there. I don't love Bocock on there either, but I put the box right there. So, hey, Brad, could you still do a post-game reaction video when you get home from Clemson, or do you not want to do it that late? Oh, I will, and I'll do Locked On as well. So, I'll have Locked On done, as soon as I get home. Hey, David, WNBA All-Star Game. Kept waiting for the game to get serious, then the fourth quarter ended. Matt, what is your Mount Rushmore for lazy offseason list? I see what you did there. Hey, John, when listening to multiple media throughout the week, People media consistently fail to mention the loss of Weiss Jr. and the contribution he made. Does the new Ole Miss offensive coordinator fare well this season? So, John David Baker is the new, we talked about it plenty. John David Baker is the new Ole Miss offensive coordinator. And he came from East Carolina, where he had success. He had been at Ole Miss with Kiffin prior. Okay, so Kiffin got to Ole Miss in 2020. John David Baker went there in 21. I'm looking at it right here as the tight end passing game coordinator. Then 22 and 23, he was the co-OC and tight ends coach. He leaves to go to East Carolina, where he was the OC and quarterbacks coach the last 2 years. That's where he began being the play caller, and now he's back at Ole Miss. So he's only been a play caller for 2 seasons at East Carolina. And they did pretty well. I just keep equating it to like the Jake Peets situation at LSU. You can try to hire someone who's been on staff before, who you think knows, but it's just when you're the guy, when you're the puppet master, when you're the maestro, it's just different when the buck stops with you. So there's a lot to prove there. Matt, with SEC wanting to govern itself, when do you think that will become a reality? I don't think the SEC wants to govern itself, Jesse. I think that's something they're willing to do if the rest of college football strays, right? If we end up in a situation where the tail's wagging the dog, meaning the cumulative conferences, you look at if the ACC, the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Mountain West, the American, the Conference USA, like if all those leagues, which have numbers but don't have the preeminent powers, like the SEC isn't going to allow terms of how they operate to be dictated to them by the Mountain West, right? Like what Hawaii wants will never influence what LSU wants. So, I think eventually, they get it right because there's too much to lose by having everything severed. What I have often said is I think we will see college football exist as one entity, but like the powers. I'd take like the Big Ten, the SEC, and then cherry pick a few other top preeminent powers. Clemson, Florida State, Miami, maybe Texas Tech. You look at the top 50 or 60 schools in the country, and they will have their own college football where they'll play each other and have their own championship, their own playoff. They're like, and you won't see the G5 associated or the FCS. Like they'll do their own thing. I think that's I think that will happen in my lifetime. Hey, James, good morning. Glenn, can you still have RC on AFR after what happened? Absolutely. I have RC on. RC can come co-host with me if he wants. Hey, Garland. Matt, I need your help in a debate with a buddy of mine. Let's see. I know you're well-versed in most topics, so your thoughts are valued. Do you have Sir Don Bradman? Garland. I feel like you set me up there, man, asking me about greatest cricketers of all time. I will tell you this. I did have a great conversation with my buddy Rob Young from Woodside Energy, who is a native Australian, lives in Houston now, has been in the States for years, and actually has his children have gone to SEC schools and is a sports nut. I mean, loves sports and loves the SEC. Anyway, at the LSU Texas A&M baseball game, when Woodside Energy was the presenting sponsor, they invited me to attend with them, and I went and sat in the LSU suite and hung out with them. Rob and I had talked sports a ton. I felt bad. I probably just cornered him the whole night and talked to him, but he talked to me a lot about cricket. So we're talking a lot about the difference between baseball and cricket, which is fascinating because I've never really had that deep of an understanding of cricket. We don't play cricket here. But that was the most knowledge I have of cricket. Hey, booted to the sip. Good morning. Kyle, good morning. I think most of Chandler's success came from Weiss, so we'll see the new offense, new head coach. Brandon Brad, people always get so worked up on social media and message boards when someone puts out a ranking list. That's why people do it. Low-hanging fruit. You think Seton was puffy coming into LSU? That's a reference to Drew Fabianich, who is the executive director of the Senior Bowl, who had him on AFR from Radio Row. And we were talking about Levitt and Prince William Miel and then Seton. And he said he called Seton puffy. I want puffy. I've heard rotund, overweight, chubby, chunky, baby fat. I don't think I've ever heard puffy. That was funny. Let's see. Matt, do you think there's a path for 10-2 and a playoff for this team? I like the talent, but first years are tough. I absolutely think there's a path for that. I'm not saying it's easy. And the other thing about first years being tough, you have to reframe your mind because that's pre-NIL portal era. In this era, Kurt Signetti went to Indiana, went 11-1 his first year. Now I understand Big Ten, he was playing a different schedule, but still, it was Indiana. So if you get the right transfers, it can absolutely happen. I think for LSU, look, they're a double-digit favorite at home against Clemson. And then they'll beat Louisiana Tech. They'll go on the road to Ole Miss. I think LSU has a real chance to win that game. They may even be favored by the time that game gets here. And then they come home against Texas A&M. Let's say hypothetically you split those. Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Let's just say you split those, okay? Then you go McNeese, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Auburn. You'll be favored in all of them. You should win all of them, okay? So let's say you get to that point and you're 7-1. Well, you got November. You're home against Bama, home against Texas. Let's say you split those. Let's say you beat Bama, lose to Texas. Okay. Well, now you're 8-2, and you have to go to Tennessee and to Arkansas. Back-to-back road conference games, not easy, but you should be favored in both. So if you can go win those two games, you're 10-2, you're in the playoff. I think there's a real possibility that happens. Now, you have to avoid a letdown at Kentucky or at Auburn. You have to make sure that after you go Bama, Texas, brutal games, then you're at Tennessee, really tough on the road, that you don't have a letdown there. I mean, there's landmines all over the schedule. But is there a path to 10-2? Sure there is. Kyle, like you said, Marcel was overrated, but to pick your brain, what makes him, in your opinion? So that was a rapid fire video that we did on social media. And it was like, just name one word, give you a name, one word. And so Marcel Reed, I think, is has a high ceiling. I think the problem with Reed, as I see it right now, is in times he didn't necessarily elevate in the biggest games. Like look at last year. I'm looking at his game log last year. So last year against Notre Dame, he was 17 of 37. Now, he threw for 360, but they had the 86-yarder at the end of the game, the 86-yard catch and run. But 17 of 37. And he ran 7 times for 37 yards. I mean, there's so many different times he was against Mississippi State. He was 13 of 23. The LSU game, he was 12 of 21 for 202, two touchdowns, 2 picks. I mean, now he ran 13 times for 108, but throwing the ball, I think he's got a lot to prove. Against Texas, 20 of 32 for 180. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Against Miami in the playoffs, 25 of 39 for 237. No touchdowns, 2 picks. 15 carries, 27 yards. All that to say, I just think in the biggest games against the biggest opponents, he didn't necessarily step up. They won a lot of games. I think they won largely because they had a really good defense and really good running game. And I think that's one of the things that, as long as Mike Elko is at Texas A&M, gives them a great advantage. If you're good on defense and you can run the ball, you can have a chance. And I think that's something they're always going to focus on. But to be a national title contender, you need your quarterback to break you through. And I don't know that Reed's that guy. I'm not saying he won't be. He just hasn't shown to be yet. Hey, Lance. Yes to whiskey and wine. No to Marler or anything unless anything with him gets turned off immediately. Excuse me. Caleb, your sit down with Brooks made me go down a Film Guy episode rabbit hole. His film of Levitt is must-see TV. Hey, Bobby, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Brent, good morning. Brad, did Ryan Clark play on the 98 team? I remember that team lost almost every game by a few points. It did. And he did. Yeah, so Ryan was a freshman in 1997 and redshirted that year in 97 and then played 98, 99, 2000, and was a fifth-year senior in 2001. Hey, Ron, any concern with how LSU handled the Whit Weeks injury? No, I think they did the best they could, man. They were very, he didn't participate last spring after the injury in the bowl game. And then he was still coming back from in fall camp. And so he was really limited in fall camp. So they got him as close to 100% as they could for the start of the season. And he told us he was just never 100%. He never fully recovered from that injury. And then he suffered a second injury in the Ole Miss game. And then he just worked hard to get back. So I think I'm glad he's healthy and feeling great, and he needs to go have a monster season. I think LSU should bring back the Winn-Dixie Showdown for baseball, have a volleyball game at the Superdome. I mean, for LSU baseball, the showcase events and stuff like that. I mean, I love that they go play those. And if they play them in the Dome, great. They're going to Vegas this year, so that'll be a lot of fun. I may try to plan. So I told you I want to go to the Sphere in like February or March to go see Metallica. And I may plan a trip to Vegas to go watch Metallica and then go to the baseball games as well. Let's see, Devin. I hope LSU shows up for game day. I'll be in line at 2 a.m. You know about for college game day against Clemson? Dude, I don't know if I can do that 2 a.m. thing, bro. That's going to be a long day with the game that night. Good on you if you can go get it. Hey, Bailey, you do a great job. You don't only give opinions, but you provide insight into the LSU program. Thank you, Bailey. I appreciate you, man. Very kind of you. I appreciate everybody watching every day. Hey, Mary, good morning. RSP, good morning. Jim, any updates on the new arena? Yeah, the last update I got, it was an encouraging one because if you remember, there was like a back-to-back week when I was out, when I went to Barrett Sports Media and then straight to the beach. So I was out for like 2 weeks. And before I left, I kind of started shaking trees about the arena because it's something that has to happen. And I don't just mean like for LSU basketball, but for our community. So I don't think a lot of people really understand what they're planning. And it's not just a basketball arena. They're planning an entire entertainment district built around that. And when you look at cities, comparable cities, they have similar things to that where you can have the arena and then around it, you have an entertainment district that has shopping and restaurants and maybe like green space, public areas. And I know what the lake is planning on doing is building a whole medical compound, like a sports medicine compound, district around the arena as well, in addition to housing and so residential and commercial and food. It's right there, it could be right there near the riverfront as well. So that's going to be one of those things that becomes a real. We have not had in Baton Rouge a landmark development since the Shaw Center for the Arts. It's been 20 years, since the Shaw Center opened downtown. And of course, it has Tsunami at the top. It has the Manship Theater in it. Like, we have not had something like that built in Baton Rouge in 20 years. It is time. And so it's not just an LSU basketball thing. It's part of it, but it's a Baton Rouge and Louisiana thing. So, and the same old ridiculousness in our city and state is what's holding up the project, and it needs to get pushed through. And I have a big platform. I do. I'm aware of it, and I don't use it all the time to make waves, but sometimes when I need to get attention, I feel it's worth it, I'm going to do it. And I think it's worth it not just for LSU, but for our city and our state. And I think we just have a citizenry that just is unaware of what's going on. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just they haven't necessarily paid attention or are aware of what's been proposed and what's trying to be pushed through. And it needs to get done. Part of that would also mean closing down the River Center as an arena and making that into a convention hall and building a true convention hotel right there. I mean, think about every city. Tampa was just there. Think about every city that's on a river, a body of water. They build waterfront entities. You have this beautiful natural resource right there. It's the freaking Mississippi River right there. And like, you go into downtown Omaha, they're right there on the river. Think about Pittsburgh, Three River Stadium. Like, think about all the different places that build things. San Antonio, the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is a whole district with shopping and restaurants. It's a whole thing people do. And that's a naturally occurring thing. With the Mississippi River, and think about what we have on the river. On the West Bank side, we got like smokestacks in Port Allen and barges. And on the East Bank, we've got an old World War II ship and a casino. Like, let's develop the riverfront, man. Like, let's make that a showplace that people want to go, like, make a point to be there. Like, what about, rooftop bars and restaurants with a view like Tsunami, which but we've got one in 20 years. Like, what if we had I was in Natchitoches. Think about Natchitoches, Louisiana, right there on the Cane River. They have this whole beautiful little district, walking and shops and businesses and all right there on the river. What are we doing? So it's a big part of it. The arena. It needs to happen. Hey, Razor, good morning. I'm going to Clemson and Texas games. I think Clemson is going to be loud. Hopefully the loudest we've been in a long time. Where's the location for the arena? So across from the box. So the golf course, that's where they're going to build the new arena. And hopefully that whole district pushes a lot of that blight in Tigerland, which is just an atrocity, and levels all of that and makes that a cleaner, safer part of town. $50 billion data centers, no problem going through. But see, I'm okay. Like, data centers are massive revenue generators. I mean, yes, bring that industry to our state. Like, look, this is not a political statement. This is a financial statement, because I care about money. Jeff Landry has done a really good job at luring big dollar projects to Louisiana. Meta, Hyundai, Woodside Energy building a $15 billion LNG plant And that's just being a good caretaker of people's capital and welcoming these projects to the state. And we have abundant natural resources in this state. We just don't take enough advantage of it, man. Anyway. Hard to see Baton Rouge competing for it when you have New Orleans down the road where people would rather stay. You're missing the point. You're not competing with New Orleans. You're building something that's Baton Rouge. Like don't get it twisted. You're not trying to be New Orleans. You're not trying to be Bourbon Street, the French Quarter. You're not trying to attract Super Bowls. It's not what you're competing for. It's a different entity. Like Austin, Texas isn't trying to be Houston or Dallas. It's built around its own culture. And Baton Rouge has great culture. We have tons of problems in this city. I know that for sure, but we have great culture here as well. We have great food and we have like great music and nightlife and great people and energy. And there's beautiful parts of the city. And you've got LSU and you've got the Mississippi River. You have a lot of natural things there that are attractive. You got to accentuate the good things. So it takes being able to do things like the arena project or having a developer come in with a vision for how to remake the waterfront. Can you imagine if where the River Center is now, if that becomes an elevated convention center and hotel with shops and restaurants built on the riverfront right there, where you could walk the riverfront and just walk into restaurants or bars or shops? Like, can you imagine? Like, people would spend their time down there. Like, you would go down there to do it. And they've done some great things. Like, they built Roar Plaza downtown, and with the outdoor stage. I mean, Live at 5 is a free concert series that people flock to. There's good things here, man. Like, yes, there's plenty of bad, but there's good too. He's got to accentuate the good. So don't get it twisted, man. I'm not saying like Taylor Swift is going to come play the arena in Baton Rouge instead of going to New Orleans. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like can you build your own thing here that's going to be appealing? We were just in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They have an amazing wharf area with restaurants and bars, music, lots of interaction, children, activities. Baton Rouge should have all of it. That's the point, Janet. Like, don't try to be Austin or New Orleans. Like, do the things that accentuate the great parts of your city. And LSU is a huge part of this city. And so imagine if people come in town to go to a football game, and then you have this whole entertainment district right across from Alex Box Stadium, and then north into downtown, you have this whole riverfront area. I mean, in New Orleans, they have the River Walk. I mean, you have the old Jack's Brewer that they've developed into shops right there on the river. You have the French Market and all that's right there on the river. Like, accentuate the good that you have. More smokestacks on the Baton Rouge side. ExxonMobil owns all the good land. BR is landlocked. I'm not talking about north. I'm talking about downtown on the riverfront. Like, if you go over the Mississippi River Bridge and you look at my point, it's not a knock at Port Allen. I'm saying when you look, this is the point. You go over the bridge and you're looking to the West Bank, you see barges and yards and all that sort of stuff. Nothing is developed. On the East Bank, it's the same thing. You have the Kid, and you have the USS Kid, and then you have like whatever the casino is that's right there. Go Tigers. Let's see. Any tips on parking coming in town for the Texas game? Last time I went to a game in 21, parking was a nightmare. I'm sure parking's still going to be a nightmare. Get there early. Or buy a parking pass. Go on that's my recommendation. Go into like the secondary market and buy a parking pass from somebody. Just bite the bullet and spend a couple $100 on a parking pass if someone will sell you one. Hey, Leon, I agree with you with the potential for the riverfront. Stayed at the Hilton downtown a few years ago, was underwhelmed when compared to even smaller towns on the river. Hey, Brett, good morning. Current PMAC will not be demoed, right? Is the new arena being built so they don't have to renovate? Point being, could they make it the gymnastics only arena and rename it Bryant Arena? The PMAC will not be demoed. The plan is for some sports to continue competing at the PMAC, some to use it for practice, and then a lot of office space as well. That's the plan. So like I think men's and women's basketball, gymnastics, I think would compete at the new arena. I think like volleyball would stay at the PMAC. It would be used for practice and then also for events and for office space. I hope they keep the PMAC. It's nice going to get some free AC before the. Yeah, they're not demoing the PMAC. That's not. It's just they would convert that into a different type of usable space. Hey, Lynn. No disrespect. People from 504 normally go to Southern University. I enjoy Baton Rouge, but whatever they do, it won't be New Orleans. Again, it's not the point. It's not trying to be New Orleans. And the other part too, Lynn, is like, look, I love New Orleans going next week. New Orleans has its issues too. Like I tell people, don't go to the French Quarter at night. Like there's a dangerous element that's not worth it. During the day, when the weather's beautiful, it's one of my favorite places in the world. But again, it's not trying to be New Orleans. Like, be the thing you want to be. I hate majority of future NFL stadiums are all domes turning into arena football league. I get it. Like, you have to be able to, those have to be multi-use facilities, right? So if you build a dome, then you can host concerts and other things like that because you can't spend billions of dollars on a facility that you can only use 10 times a year for an NFL football game. Like, you've got to be able to use that space throughout the year. You have to be able to host hundreds of events. Like we were talking about the Superdome earlier today because Club said he's going to the Dome today for X Games. This is the first time he's ever gone. I was surprised. I'm like, you think about everything they have at the Dome, from Saints games to bowl games to the high school championships to the X Games. They used to do Monster Truck. They've done baseball games. You have the boat show, the conventions, expo, boat show, all that sort of stuff. Like, you have to be able to track those types of things if you're going to spend the money to have that venue. It's got to be able to be a revenue generator for you throughout the year, not just those football games. You got to think differently about, like, if you're going to spend a couple $1 billion on a stadium, you can't use it 10 days out of the year. You've got to be able to use it throughout the year. What up? Nothing. WS the same. Cody, I'll be going to the baseball games in Vegas. If you go, I'll buy you a whiskey. Love it. Just don't make it expensive. That's all I drink, Cody, is expensive whiskey. So don't offer to buy me a whiskey unless you're offering to buy me a good one. And by the way, every whiskey in Vegas is expensive. Even if it's not a rare one, they're going to charge you for it. Hey, Brett, park at pastime, take the shuttle. Started that last year. It's a great option if you want to be a later arriver 2-3 hours before the game. Cool. Good looking out. We need another bridge. NFL doesn't want Super Bowl in open air stadium. That's another part of it too, is you can't run the risk of having a weather event at a Super Bowl. Like, the fact that they had the Super Bowl in New York City in February or I'm in New Jersey, but you know what I mean. It's bonkers. All right, I think we're done. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Good conversation, man. All right, I got to go. I'm going to go get dressed, go to church. I'm going to go have a great Sunday. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. If you're on podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. All of our sponsors linked in the description on YouTube. We'll get them on podcast as well. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for being here.